Ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. As President Trump keeps his neurotic tirade on against India, his tariffs have triggered a 100% Desi storm, one that is pitting two Indian states against each other. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, currently on a trip to Europe to look out for investments, has trained his guns directly at Prime Minister Modi for India buying cheap Russian oil and attracting the 50% tariffs. Chief Minister Stalin says, and I'm quoting him now, "How is it fair that for the sake of providing cheap Russian crude oil to oil refineries in Gujarat, you allow our exporters, who create thousands of job opportunities, to languish?" This is what the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu is saying. Taking a cue from the Chief Minister, another DMK leader escalated the attack by parroting Navarro's Brahmins benefiting at the cost of India's people. A. Raja, a DMK MP, said, and I quote, "The United States of America is asking why should Modi conduct a war in Ukraine and why should Brahmins exploit this soil? Nothing is happening in India except two people are selling India while two are buying India." He goes on to say rather provocatively, the 50% tariff is an extension of it. He goes on to say, Donald Trump didn't impose 50% tariff, Modi asked for it.
They say this is a geopolitical strategy because it wants to reach the pockets of Mr. Ambani. Why is Modi not answering this? This is a very, very sensitive issue and the common man is affected. He chose to line the pockets of Mr. Ambani. That is the reason everybody is opposing it. It is national interest.
So we have purchased it in a very lesser price. What is Mr. Stalin trying to say? For silly politics, he is trying to blame the government and the Prime Minister. He is accusing that Gujaratis have taken this. All our Indian owned companies.
Just because you need a political narrative, you don't apply your brain and you talk whatever that is given to you in the form of a cheat is the usual practice of MK Stalin. Neither he thinks nor he questions. It clearly indicates what are all the priorities of this government. Their priority is nation last.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tamil Nadu's angst against tariffs are justified, given that 31% of Tamil Nadu's exports go to the United States of America. In fact, one city in the state, Tirupur, which saw major protests yesterday, accounts for 60% of India's knitwear exports, which are valued at about 45,000 crore rupees. What does a 50% tariff mean for them? It means 12,000 crore rupees in losses and job losses for the 9 lakh plus strong workforce there. In a scenario like that, ladies and gentlemen, any chief minister would be worried. That is justified. But here's the thing. Stalin is not the only chief minister who should be worried or is worried in India today. Noida, which is in Uttar Pradesh, and Surat, which is in Gujarat, are the other textile hubs in this country, and they too are facing major losses. So to portray this as a Tamil problem only instead of a national problem is honestly problematic. Also, when Tamil Nadu loses, India loses, because the state makes up for 27% of India's total textile exports. Is it then fair to blame the problem on Modi's crony capitalism? Yes, Reliance is the biggest buyer of cheap Russian oil. There is no doubt about it. But Indian oil marketing companies too buy this cheap oil, the very oil that gets sold across India, including in Tamil Nadu. Has Mr. Stalin forgotten that 50% tariffs have been imposed on 100% of India and that this is a national problem, not a regional problem? Is he playing parochial politics over national interest when he asks the Prime Minister of India to negotiate with Donald Trump? Are the interests of Tamil textile workers over Indian farmers who India right now is trying to protect? These are some questions I have for my guest this evening.